source found. Timeline divergence found. The following video has been corrected.
This is Liberty Prime with Base Builders, and welcome back to RuneScape Dragonwilds. Y'all, we are going to finish up this tower today. Let's do a quick review of the road so far. Since the bridge leading from the house was our jumping off point, we started there with a couple of doors, which gave us the correct placement for our tower's base. With those in place, we had to do this one weird trick to make the width of our tower work out just right, because we wanted it to be 3 full-size pieces across and not the much easier 2 or 4. What was I thinking? With that part figured out, we were able to finally start building upwards and put our first walls in place. And with those in place, we were able to get going on our next 2 important elements, the stairs and the windows. Because of the weird width of our tower, we had to do another weird little trick to start our stairs off in the right place. But at least the stairs do go up nice and easy from there. Woo! The windows start off being a little bit complicated too. But once you've got the system down, they're pretty easy to add in as well. There were even more complicated bits along the way though, 2 of the windows are close enough to the doors that we had to take some extra steps. And the bit over that top doorway took some figuring out too, both outside and inside. Then again, so did those beams over the doorways and a few other little details. Finally, though, we got to the part where we could make our tower zoom on up. Woo! A little bop here, a little bop there, and suddenly the whole thing got a whole lot fancier. And now, y'all, we are finally on that home stretch. Woo! So let's get back on the road for our final push.
Audio lost. Exploring available timelines. Unstable audio source found.
So as promised, we're going to start this episode off with a bang. More than one of them, actually. Because see, as I was zooming my way on upwards last episode, I accidentally put some square pieces here where I was supposed to put some triangle pieces. So we need to get rid of these. Oh, I can't see where my cheater piece is gone. Okay, well, anyway. Bang! And bang! All right, but we're not done with that yet because we got another window here that needs some fixing. Let's spin this around so I know for sure what I'm destroying. Bang! And here comes the wind-up. Bang! All right. But unfortunately, getting rid of those pieces left us with a little bit of a problem outside here because it destroyed this little lip piece that was over this decorative strip. So we're going to have to put that bag in place, and that's going to require an even bigger bang. So let's get started on that. We're going to destroy all of these pieces up here. Although thankfully, they're not going to be all that hard to put back in place. And I'll show you why when we're putting them back in place. Ooh, come on. Help me out with this destruction fest. Okay, there we go. And you can see where the missing pieces are supposed to go. And actually, I might need to destroy even more here. But again, it's going to be remarkably easy to put those back. Let's do them on both sides here. Oh, our window is already looking a whole lot healthier and better. Good. And now I can sort of kind of trust these green highlights lately. Oh, and by the way, I do apologize, y'all, if I've got an extra rough voice. This cold snap was just not kind to my voice or much else. But anyway, let's go ahead and put the proper pieces in place, which are these triangle pieces over here under floors. All right. This is going to be so much better. And we don't have to put both of the... Oh, I need to get into advanced stepping. But we don't need to put both of the triangle pieces on each side. We just need the one, because that's enough to get our proper little rim in place. And let's do the same thing over here on this side. Bang. You just get used to destruction. Bang. Alrighty, well, now we can switch from destruction to construction. So let's get up in here, because this is where we see, well, actually, I guess we do need a little bit more destruction, because this landing is going to be way too much trouble to deal with. It's going to cause all sorts of problems with the snapping. So let's get rid of that, because again, we can put that in again pretty easily. I think we can leave this landing in place. But we're going to now snap our floor pieces back in place. And this should be a whole lot easier this time around, because we've got all these things up here to snap to. And I'm trying to decide whether or not to switch over to basic. Let's try advanced first. And if it starts giving us too much trouble, then we can switch right back. But so far so good. And this is just basically putting back in place what we had to destroy just now so that we could get to what we needed to do to fix it. And after we're done with this, I'm going to go outside and just check and make sure that I did, in fact, fix it. But just a few more of these pieces. Oh, come on. Don't make me switch to basic. Oh, come on, I said. There we go. Yes, continue to cooperate. I like it when you cooperate. Yay. All right. Well, that's looking all right up in here, I think. Yeah. Now let's go down here and check it out a little bit more thoroughly. Now, yep, this is one of the ones that we fixed, and it's looking proper up there. And this is also looking proper. So, yay, we have fixed that in record time. Let's see. Well, there is one more thing that I want to check. Let's see how this looks on the inside. Yeah, that's not too bad. And, well, it's poking up just a little bit more than it should, but that's not quite bad enough to bother me. That's because we are using these triangle pieces up here to make sure that there's a lip. And I think that I just rotated them slightly wrong, but yeah, that's not bad enough to bother me. But I think that I am slightly bothered by the way that this looks right here, this join. So let's kind of, did I ghost mode somehow? Or, well, I'll check that in a second. Because what we're going to do is, yeah, I did ghost mode. What we're going to do is put some of these in place to cover up a little bit of that. And I don't think it's going to look too bad anyway. Oh, well, except that I don't like those dents. Well, we're not going to have both of them. Let's try doing it that ways. I can handle one dent at a time. That is bugging me slightly, this slightly exaggerated lip, but not bad at, well, oh. It's doing the same thing over here, but it's not, well, it's obscured by this landing, so I can get away with that. Alrighty, we're going to spin this around and conceal both dents, hopefully. That looks like it's doing the right thing. And I'm going to switch to, well, I already am on advanced, so behave better. There we go. Yes, now you are behaving. And I think I'm going to forget all about that lip problem and just ignore it for now. And get on with the actual construction. Because we didn't go quite high enough with these walls. They need to go one little quarter piece higher here. So let's get right back over here and pull out our walls again. And now we're going to rotate it each time such that it matches up with this uppermost lip. And try to start plonking these. This should go pretty quickly, but, oh, come on. Snap to the right thing. Okay, there we go. We're going to start this off, and then I think I might go full bop. Bop, 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 unbop, bop, unbop again. Bop, 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 and bop. Alrighty, well, now we've got this moved up just a little bit more. And that means that we're going to have to do something a little bit funky with our next staircase. But first, we're going to have to put in a landing to get us up there. All right. Ooh, and we get to be lost in the walls, too. Yay, can't get over that. All righty, let's see. I meant to say I can't get over my enjoyment of that because, yeah, we're having fun here. And I actually am. All right, there we go. There is our final landing. Well, other than this whole big thing up here, which is going to be one whole big landing. But what we're going to do here is we're going to switch over, and for the first time in this tower, we're going to use these 30-degree stairs. So let's go ahead and put this in place. All right. There we go. And now we are up to our final level, but we're also up to our next challenge. Ooh, let's see. I'm going to have to get rid of some of these lights, which we don't need in daylight, at least. So yay for that. Come on, go away. Yay. Only the right one went away. Good. Or only the correct one. Let's see. What we need next is a cheater piece. because we're going to be a little bit lazy with our landing up here. And it's actually going to look a little bit nicer for it, because what I could do is make this landing up here sort of reflect the very bottom, which is not even a landing. It's just a first floor or a bottom floor or a ground floor or however you want to call it, depending on which side of the pond you live, I guess. Let's see. I've gotten lost in my own diatribe there. Alrighty, we're going to switch over to this triangle piece, the full-size triangle piece, and we're going to snap it to this cheater piece that we just put in place, if we can. All right, yeah, and we're just going to go around about, and we're going to wind up with a nice, smooth little landing. It's going to be slightly smaller than it would be. Oh, come on. Are you snapping correctly? Let me just switch over to basic so that I'm a little bit more certain that you are. Yeah, there we go. And now we've got a nice, slightly smaller landing than it otherwise would be. But we can get up and down those stairs pretty easily, which is a nice little bonus. Let's go ahead and get rid of this cheater piece here. And y'all, I do apologize if I find myself accidentally kind of eating the mic. I keep leaning forward as I start paying attention, and then that throws everything off. But anyway, let's see. Now, I'm a little bit undecided what to do with this center thing, but I do need it for a little while longer. So we're going to put it, well, what I need it for is because our next step is going to be to put in a slightly narrower beam, because we don't need the full width beam for our final stages. And yes, these are getting to be the final stages. But what we're doing with this is we are pacing our way up to where the roof is going to be. And I think that might be the full height. Well, ooh, I'm starting to get at the end of my tether, so hopefully that is the full height. But anyway, we are hopefully about to break that roof curse once and for all. And ooh, it's looking a little bit surprisingly rosy out here. Maybe that's just some effect of the cloudiness or something. Anyway, we're going to start working on our roof, which is going to be fun and entertaining and also possibly cursed. But what we're going to do with our roof is try to find the right piece. We need a 60-degree hip roof here, and the full-sized one. And what we're going to do is, well, we're going to just start snapping it to this post and hope that this is the correct height of the post. Let's find out. Or let's try to find out, because I need it to be 2 full pieces high. And I also needed it to start off about 1/4 piece high from this. But that, in theory, is correct. Let us snap so that we know whether or not it's correct. And yes, that is correct. So I'm going to just leave that one down there. But what we're going to do next is get at the right position so that we can keep on snapping these. Because what we're going to do is turn 1 single rotation as we go around. And let me try to get in the right position so that I can maintain this, because once you get the right rhythm, you can just go right through. Might not even have to bop too much here. Come on, let's, don't make me bop. I will bop at you if you insist on it. So far, so good. But yeah, I think I might just go ahead and bop anyway, because this is going to take a while, because we have to go all the way around this tower with this. And it is definitely getting a little bit dark, y'all. Bop, beep, bep, bo, boop, bap, beep, bop, alula, poi, bongo, bang, beep, bleep, boing, and bop. All right. And now that is actually the, well, not quite the very top of our tower, but very close to it. But we still have quite a lot of work to do on this roof, and I think it might be better to do that in daylight. So let's try to make that one happen. All righty. Sleep. The world wakes. All right, back to it, and hopefully it's not going to rain all day today. That would be a nice little addition to our episode. Come on, baby. We are close to the finale. Well, we are at the finale. We are close to the finish. Except that we got a whole lot more roofing left to do. And I think we're going to go ahead and start putting in some of these at the correct rotation. Now, I do want to point out a few things first, though. Let me get in here so that I can point. If you see the way these pieces match, these are, in fact, snapped correctly. It's just this piece itself is slightly misshapen, so that this top is just, misaligned with this bottom here, which drives me nuts. But on the other hand, we're going to be seeing this room from a distance, so it's not really that big of a deal. And when you see it all put in place, it's not going to be anywhere near as obvious as when you're looking at just the one. So I'm going to go ahead and start blipping these into place. And maybe I'll say boing, maybe I'll say bong, and I see that I missed one up here, so let me get up there and fix that. Boing, padow, pop, 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 missed another one. Beep, pop, bap, bap, bop, bingo, bango, bongo, pop, 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 bap, pop, bap, pop, and pop. Alrighty. Well, and you know what? You can just sort of stop right there if you wanted to. But I like this whole curved roof thing that we've got going on in this area, so we're going to keep on with that little tactic. And we're going to start off, well, we're currently going to be skipping the 45-degree angle part, but not for the whole thing. We're just going to be delaying it slightly. And instead, we're going to start putting in, well, actually, I'm going to start with the hip roof parts of this, because we need to line these up just so. These need to be at one rotation off from either side so that it will just sort of smoothly go around. And we want to make sure that this is snapping at the center point of the top of this beam, which it was. So let's go ahead and bop that one in place. And I don't know if I'm going to bother to bop this one because it's just going to be a few, well, relatively speaking. Is that correct? It doesn't quite look correct. That must be correct. So we're just going to go through with this a little bit further and then start bobbing after all. Bop, 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 and bop. All right, that is one step. And now we're going to keep on going with that to our next step, which is going to be these small 30-degree roofs. And we're going to just put them in between these. And it's not going to be that hard of a process. I might tone down some of the bops. Bop, 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 and bop. Alrighty, we are making progress. And again, you could leave it right there, but I'm going to be even fussier than that, and I'm going to add the 45-degree parts now. Ooh, we are almost there, y'all. This is quite the build, but honestly, I'm pretty ready for it to be over, but we can just keep on going for a little while longer, can't we? Anyway, we have lined up that 45-degree piece right there, and we're going to put one down and then another on top of it. We're not going with any of the wider pieces. That's not going to give us the result that we want. It's going to, well, even if we overlap it, that's going to mess us up because we're only doing the top one highest at the moment. But we're going to go one on either side. And this is, again, the reason that one of the big reasons that I do the smaller pieces instead of the larger pieces is because with the larger pieces, they for some reason go wider. And I don't really want that here. I want it to be nice and narrow. So we're going to go around and put some of these right here in the middle again and right above it. And soon I will switch back into bop mode, but, well, maybe after this one. Bop, 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 and bop. And now I'm going to decrease the bop frequency just a little bit. Bop, bop, bop. Oopsie daisy. Bop, 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 bop. And bop. All right. We have made fast progress there. And you can quit at this stage, and it might be a good idea. But we might want to put on just one more layer of these 45-degree ones. And it's going to be a little bit messier, unfortunately. We could make it all nice and tidy in some other way, but I think we're going to go ahead and put these in here, even though they're just going to very slightly stick out. And let me go ahead and show you the first round. This is it clicking into place on either side, but you can see on either side, and let me point it out to you. On either side, you got this little bit sticking out, and it's going to be covered up by the next round, but not enough. Well, sort of enough. I don't know. Y'all tell me, and y'all tell me what you think and whether or not you would put this final round in. But let's just go ahead and bob it on in. Bob and bob. And now that we have one matching around here, you can see what's going to sort of stick out from this. Now, if we were to go any further up, it wouldn't really work. let me see. Well, that's actually not that bad looking. Let me point again. Oh boy, it's getting kind of dark outside. Yeah, you see this is meeting up, but actually, now that I'm looking at it, this highest one, or theoretically highest one, has been high in a different manner, so let's just get rid of that. Hate when that happens. Hopefully I'm getting rid of the right thing. Let's try that one more time. It was a little bit fussy to put in the other one. Let's see if that is meeting up. I'm not sure what it's snapping to there. That's probably how it wound up being too high. Yeah, all right, well, and it doesn't look terrible going up that high, but I don't know. I don't think that that's really going to be worth the trouble. But again, y'all get to decide for your own selves what you want to do in your builds. But let me destroy just a little bit of this, and hopefully not too much. I don't know. The more I look at that, the more I'm not hating it, but boy, it's going to require a whole lot more bopping. Let's just get on started with it. Boy, this is going to take a while.
Warning. Roof anomaly behavior no longer consistent with prior iterations. Adaptive structural anomaly escalation confirmed. Architectural hostility increasing.
Okay. Trying to fix that single misplaced piece created such an unholy mess that it threw us into an alternate timeline entirely. So I repeat again, for the first time, don't do it. Bad life choice. Roof curse strikes again. So let's stick our fingers in our ears, whistle, and continue on in this much better timeline.
Timeline divergence resolved. This version of the tower is stable. Previous timeline quarantined.
Alrighty. Yeah, now you can see that it overlaps as it sticks out, but if you try to go up one round further, and this will explain that slight editing discontinuity that you might have noticed, if you were to go one round further, I'm going to not do it for sure, but I'm going to just sort of point out what I would be doing. If I were to do this on either side, trying to... Well, the trying to part explains why I decided that was not a good idea. If I were to do that all the way up, it would look smoother, but it would turn you into an axe murderer as you tried to do it, because getting it to snap correctly is just enough to drive anybody insane. So my advice to you is don't do it unless you have years of time to make it work correctly. It is a nightmare and a half. So, like I said, don't try it. But we are going to shift right back into Boptage, and hopefully I don't mess anything up too terribly again. Lord willing. Bop, 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 bop. Of course it's raining. Bop, 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 bop. All right, y'all. I think we are done with the Boptages, and I think we are done with this roof, too. Ooh, boy. That was quite the challenge, although... thankfully, y'all didn't have to sit through the worst of it, because, that was terrible. And I think this raid has decided to gift us with a proper atmosphere for how terrible that was. But anyway, we are done. We are done with the roof. We are done with the tower, but we don't have quite the final finishing touch. What we're going to do is going to be aided by this beam that we put. Well, let me go ahead and show you what we put after I pull out what we're about to put on top of this. We're going to put on one of these, and the reason we can get it to snap so kindly, I hope, and we have to switch to advanced snapping for it to work perfectly, is because we have that beam inside. And I have the option of either having it facing this way or this way, and I might just be able to layer both on top so that we got it facing both ways. But let me pop inside and show you what's making this possible, which is, where is it? This beam up here, well, let me get the pointer out here. This beam up here, this very final one, which I've made kind of short, might want to make that a little bit longer now that I'm thinking about it. know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Why not? Let's just waste just a little bit more time here. Ooh. Okay, we're going to destroy you, which incidentally destroyed that one. But let's go ahead and put a full-size beam up here. If we can. Where'd you go? There'd you go. And let's get back into basic real quick so that hopefully it will snap correctly if I can ever get out of the roof and onto the right spot. Are you going to work? Well, you're not going to be rotated correctly, but you're going to work. All right. Oh, no, not all right. Oi. I would sure love it if things were to go right. Gonna get just a little bit higher. There we go. I think that went right. That looks right. And I'm going to go ahead and put some torches up so that I can see what I'm doing even in these last few seconds here. Okay, come on, baby. I've already been driven crazy. And I'm not going to be all proper and perpendicular with the snap. Ooh, come on, let me out of the roof. I'm not going to make it snap as nicely as it could if I can ever get over there again. Yeah, I can't get over there again, can I? Okay. Yeah, I just want you to snap again and again and again. Okay, well, maybe we'll just put up with 2 at a time. We don't need to go any further than that, do we? And of course it's still rated outside. Why would it stop? Anyway, let's get right back down to this guy. And we're going to try to light it. Ooh, if we can get to the end of our tether, we're going to try to get it to light up properly with that house, is what I was trying to say. And we're going to snap 1 here because it snaps perfectly to the end of that beam if you're in advanced snapping. If you're in basic snapping, nothing's going to go right for just a little while, but hopefully it's going to go right real soon. And let's get one of these again. And now I'm going to try to hit the correct button to switch over into basic snapping. Yay, I did it just right. Woo! How on earth did I manage that? Well, anyway, if this were in basic snapping, yes, I have 8 totems available now. Yeah, see, it just refuses to snap properly. I mean, I could still snap it, but it's not going to snap where I want it to. But if I'm in advanced snapping, then it will immediately snap the way that I want it to. So let's get back around and turn it the correct way. What I don't know is whether or not I can snap one on top of the other. Let's see what happens if I try that. Yeah, it's going to resist it. But anyway, we have got one of those up there as the top of our tower. And let me finally get out of this mode. And actually, I'm going to get into photo mode so that we can take a little bit more of a look at our tower with the rain frozen in midair. But let's go back a little bit further. And I'm going to do one lovely little photo mode thing, which is to get rid of the UI. I love that feature so much. But now we can see a little bit more of our tower. And we can see that we can't really tell how weird certain spots of the roof are. You can tell if you're right close up and such, but not too much when you're more than just a few feet away. Let's look at it from over here. And this is looking a little bit funky because the photo mode puts you in a different POV. But now you can see that that roof does look pretty nice and smooth as we move up. And it's going to look pretty smooth as we move down, too. Of course, you can barely see the roof from down here. But if we were further away, we would be able to see it a little bit better. But there we go. That is our tower, y'all. And it's got this nice little peak on the top. But let's take a tour of the whole thing. We see our windows and how nicely those fit in. And we've got our, well, let's just go ahead and go down here and start from the bottom up. Because we've got our stairs and our windows all nicely put into place. And we've got our lovely little window seats here, making it a little bit easier to shoot out these windows if we need to. And we can go right on up. And we're seeing, nothing terrible yet. We still got our window seats. And we got ourselves there. This is one of the few times when we can actually look ourselves in the face because for some reason, RuneScape decided that we were just not allowed to do that. We have become intensely camera shy now because whenever the camera sort of rests on our faces, we just freak out and turn away. Don't know what that's all about. But anyway, now we are seeing the underside of our lovely roof, and I'm seeing a few things that I can just go ahead and destroy here. I will eventually tidy up all these torches, but I'm not necessarily going to do that part on camera. We'll just come by and see it later on when it's already been done. But this roof interior does look kind of nice and interesting here. And you can see some of the ingredients that went into it. We see our little 45-degree parts right there, and our 30-degree parts down there just a little bit. But it all works out very nicely, even though it can get a little bit nightmarish to put it in place. And I see a spot where I messed up. I'm gonna fix that. Yes, I am. Oh, I need to get out of here before I can do that, don't I? Okay, well, let's just fix that, because I can't leave it like that. And I can't revisit this episode later on, because no, I'm done, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm done with this tower, or I'm gonna be. Oh, come on! I said I was done. Let's get up here somewhere. Where was that? It's right over here. And I think that there's only one piece that's out of place, although this shouldn't be poking through either. Wonder if I can fix that. Well, I wonder how much I'm going to accidentally destroy when I try to fix this, because that is part of the reason why I just decided to edit out that whole episode with me trying to do something a little bit too creative. Let's see. Okay, that got rid of that. Now, what is causing that, I wonder? Let's remember, how do we get down when we're not in photo mode? Yeah, okay, I'm seeing an excess piece here. Let's see if I can manage to destroy just that. Ooh, come on, destroy the right thing for me, please. I think I did, although I think that I might have destroyed more than I meant to. Maybe so, maybe no. Well, anyway, let's get out here and put back the one piece that we destroyed. Maybe I can do it from inside. That would be lovely. And it's going to get all dark up in here, isn't it? Oh, don't do that at me. I'm at the end of my rope. Well, thankfully I'm not at the end of my tether, though. Okay, let's try to put this proper. Are you going to help me? No, you're probably not, are you? Well, hopefully I can keep track of where I am. Ooh, it is dark. Now, what did I just destroy? And how do I put it back? Okay, we got one there. Got one there. Maybe have one there. What did I destroy? Oh. Nope. Well, I'll get back to y'all when I find... Oh, no, I just found it. No, I didn't. Anyway, I'll get back to y'all when I find it. Or maybe I will just find it almost immediately. All right. So now we are done with this tower. And while it's raining, I'm going to just go ahead and walk around in my tower here. And very slowly walk up the stairs so that we can get a little bit better of a view. But this is our wonderful finished tower, y'all. And I am very excited to have built this, and I am frankly very excited to be done with it. And I'm not seeing anything weird or out of place. Woo! All right. Well, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this adventure. Oh man, that rain is really coming down. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this dramatic adventure in tower building. And I am going to shift back into photo mode, even if it is coming down rain all over the place. At least it's not ice rain like we've been having out here. That was very tiring. But let's get right up here at the peak of our tower and just gaze about our valley just a little bit. And maybe take a second to gaze where we're going to build our castle, because I think that is our next big project. I think that we're going to put it over here near the seaside, so that we can, protect our territory from ships oncoming, I guess. But mostly just so that it'll look cool. We're going to have it sitting out here, looking out at what will probably not be a sunset, but what will certainly be a lovely view. Look at that. Looks a little bit interesting while it's frozen, so let's make it move again. There we go. We've got some nice, slightly overly repetitive ripples going on, but this is going to be a lovely view for our castle. And I hope that y'all will tune into that series, because that's going to be quite the interesting build. Although, honestly, I'm going to need to recover just a little bit from this build. So, It might be a tiny little bit of a wait, but we are definitely going to be getting back to this as soon as we can. And we still got a whole lot of stuff that we need to fix over here, don't we? We're going to finish up that building too. But I will be thinking about that castle and planning out exactly what we're going to be doing. And hopefully y'all will come with me for that one too. And thank you so much to all my subscribers and all my viewers too. If you don't want to miss out on that castle build, or if you just plain like builder games in general, then please do subscribe. And thank all of you who've already done that. It helps me out enormously, especially since I'm also trying to build this channel into a great builder site for all of us. But we have finally managed to build this tower, and I'm very excited to finally see it done, even if it has become all dark and stormy out there. Hooey! And if y'all have enjoyed this unexpectedly adventurous build, please do leave a like on this video and tune in for our next adventure.
Warning. Adaptive anomaly escalation confirmed. Containment successful. Stability provisional.
I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.